every day this summer as I should have. But we are getting used to it as she is getting used to wearing our clothing, and so I will instruct her on the proper ways to be an Englishwoman. Soon she will take an English name, and she will no longer be the Lady Metallica. But what name are you considering?
We were considering the name of Rebecca. You are familiar with the book of Genesis? Yes. Abraham's wife? Yes. But that will not be until the good Reverend Whittaker converts me, of course. Until then, I have much to learn.
Yes, the Reverend is teaching her to read the Bible and convert, and I will be teaching her all the proper social conversions. And so, simple things that we take for granted, as in eating 3 meals a day, and sitting down to a table while we do it. She is not used to this at all, not even sitting in a chair.
We would not sit in chairs to eat. We would make a big stew in the morning, and if you were hungry, you would just simply come and eat. And we would not eat at any time, really. The English are very rigid. It must be 3 times a day in certain things. So it is very difficult. Even the food is different. As an Indian native, I would have had the rakhamani apon, so the cornbread. Here we have the tasanta sapon, which is the white man, the foreign bread. We have otonos cheese. You would not have had cheese, which is very good. And of course butter, which we wouldn't even have a word for yet, because we don't have the agriculture animals.
Yes, domesticated farm animals. The people are hunter-gatherers, and they don't keep domesticated animals as we do. In England, we have a long-standing tradition of farming and raising animals, and this is a very strange concept to them. Of course, they do not have any cows or sheep or goats here.
No.
So all of these animals, pigs,
yes,
all new to her. Now we do eat some similar things, so we will have fish.
Yes. Nomeas. Nomeas is the word for fish.
Nomeas?
Nomeas.
Nomeas. And the James River, which you had a different name for?
Sine Comico is what we would call the area that we live. So between Appomattox rivers and the Potomac rivers, and which you call the James.
Now named after our good King James.
Sine Comico, which means river people, or people along the river, because we will all live along the river. It is what we use as our, what the English say, roads. We put our canoes there. This is for roads.
Yes, roads. We are still using ships for the roadways here.
Yes.
Roads are a far in the future project, perhaps. First, we must bring profit to the colony. And we hope the way to do this is tobacco.
Careful talking about that future, because if you can see it.
Green color, because guess what color are my chicken's legs? Can you guess?
Orange?
No?
Oh, green.
Yes. So my chickens that have green legs lay green eggs, and my chickens that have brown legs have brown legs, because they keep the pigment in their legs. Isn't that funny? I have 10 chickens at home. So I collected the eggs this morning.
Yes, dear. Okay, all right. We'll have to move that.
All right.
Okay, thank you. I see butter down there. Is this supposed to be the
Yeah, see how it's a little greenish in color? Yeah, that's kind of crazy, huh?
Did you collect the legs? Is that what you said?
No, it's the pigment. Yeah. They have goats here, so they would have had goat milk and goat butter. I don't have goat milk. We're just using cow. Make a mess. Let's see if we can put this on the oven.
Things are cooking properly.
Today I have some lentils, which are a small bean. And I'm going to make a pottage out of it. And this is a vegetable soup, and this is a side of ham. So now this is just going to make a radiant heat. So I can cook. And then I'll see if I can save my fire. So this morning the first thing I did was make the largest fire you can imagine. Let's see if we can cook.
Well, there was a man here.
So much preparation.
As soon as the cornbread's done, do a cake, and then later this afternoon we'll do bread and bread up.
Who had the program? Oh yeah, who had the program? You. Hey, who has the program?
Drive that down nice and tight. Then we'll move on to the next pieces. When I get all the pedal groups on there, I take the ball peen, smack that post sticking up, and I am going to upset it. Flatten it out like that nail.
Kind of like backing her, fucking her rivet.
Yeah, exactly that. It's going to squeeze it. I'm turning the end of this stem into a rivet. There's a little shoulder I made underneath for it to sit on, and then the head's going to squash down. That's why that one wiggles. He didn't have a big enough shoulder. Yeah, every time he drives it down to make it tight, it just pushes it down the stem further, so he never gets a good tight grip.
This is the final product.
That is the final product, yeah. So once I get all the pieces together and upset that head on there so it doesn't move, then I'm going to take the pliers and tongs and things, and I'm going to start shaping the flower petals up into the flower group, and then I'll probably work them out a little bit further, like you see here. I'll drive those back out on it, and your initial group is all the way in the center, because that's still closed. The rose hasn't opened yet. Depending on what I feel like or what it turns out, it could be anything from really tight like this out to something like that.
Now, how do you start to get the petals like this? What kind of metal?
What I'm starting with is a blank. If I was doing it the way they would have 400 years ago, we couldn't afford to sell it.
Right.
I couldn't afford to make the things. It would take so long. But by working out with the blank, I can start out with this flat piece. And some of this work is done. So it takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do a rose, depending on where I'm going with the rose and how long I decide to.
Show me your piece! Show me your piece!